Hi, everybody. This is Paul Gerard. I'm a student loan consultant working with the American Dental Education Association, ADEA, and this repayment module is on income-driven repayment plans and how to know if an income-driven repayment plan should be part of your repayment strategy. Now, hopefully you saw the earlier module on repayment plans where we looked at time-driven and income-driven repayment plans. Once again, this module is going to focus on income-driven repayment plans that we call IDRs. That's the umbrella name for a lot of different payment plans based on income. You see a listing of 4 of them there. We are going to focus our attention on the 2 most recent plans, Pay As You Earn, known as Pay, which became available in 2012, and Revised Pay As You Earn, known as Repay, which became available in 2015. Repay is the newest of the income-driven repayment plans. Now, a reminder that income-driven repayment plans are designed for highly indebted borrowers who really cannot afford repayment under a time-driven repayment plan, most notably the standard 10-year plan, which will have significantly higher payments for many borrowers. One fairly easy way to know whether or not you need an income plan is to look at the gap between your federal debt and your income. The bigger the gap, the more likely you are going to need an IDR, an income-driven repayment plan. As we mentioned on the earlier repayment module, very important to note that the monthly payments change every year, and your loan servicer should contact you 30, 60, perhaps 90 days before the end of the 12-month period, asking for you to recertify or renew your payment amount based on new income and family size information. So that's some background on the income-driven repayment plans. Now, there are clearly advantages and disadvantages to the use of income plans. Clearly, the biggest advantage is a more manageable monthly payment. Once again, if you can't afford repayment under a time-driven plan, most notably the standard 10-year, then an IDR is likely for you. We also mentioned the possible advantage that if you do not get the debt retired by the end of the term, which is 20 years with Pay As You Earn and 25 years with Repay, any remaining debt at the end of the term is forgiven. Now, you can look at that as an advantage, but look below. You can also look at that as a disadvantage, because any debt that is forgiven at the end of the term that's not retired with an income plan is forgiven but must be claimed as taxable income. That's the last bullet at the bottom of this slide. One potential disadvantage to an income plan is that if there is a large gap between your debt and the monthly payment amount, the monthly payments may not cover the interest that's due on your loans. And if that's the case, your debt for a period of time will not go down, it will go up. And one more potential disadvantage to the income-driven repayment plans is there are a number of plans, as we showed on an earlier slide, and the nuances of the plans can be confusing. Hopefully, the next module that we have comparing Pay and Repay will help you understand some of these differences. Now, remember, with a time-driven repayment plan, the standard 10-year or the 25-year extended plan, if you make the minimum monthly payment, then at the end of the term, you are debt-free. But folks, it does not work that way with an income-driven repayment plan. Your loan servicer has no idea from year to year, nor really do you, what your income is going to be and perhaps what your family size is going to be. Remember that your monthly payments change every year. So one way to look at how an IDR works is the following. If you start repayment with an income-driven repayment plan, one of 3 things is going to happen to the debt. First of all, you will be debt-free after 10 years of eligible payments if you are participating in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program known as PSLF, and we have a separate module on PSLF. So once you're in an income plan, the first thing that could happen is after 10 years, you're completely debt-free thanks to Public Service Loan Forgiveness. The second thing that could happen is if you don't participate in public service loan forgiveness, you simply retire the debt before the end of the allowable term. This would be someone who perhaps did not have a huge gap between their federal debt and their income, and they were able to retire the debt before the end of the term. But number three, if you start in an income plan and you don't use the public service loan forgiveness program and you're not able to catch up and retire the debt before the end of the term, this would be someone who has significant debt and whose income stays relatively low compared to the debt. Then the third thing that can happen is you get to the end of the term and you have not paid all the debt off. And in that case, the debt is forgiven. But a reminder that unlike the public service loan forgiveness program, any debt forgiven at the end of the term will be subject to tax, has to be claimed on a tax return as taxable income. That is not the case with the public service loan forgiveness program.
Now, some comments as we wrap up this module on the income-driven repayment plans. We'd encourage you to take a look at the time-driven repayment plans first, the standard 10-year and the extended 25-year plan. In other words, run those numbers first and then back into the use of income-driven repayment plans if you can't afford payments under the standard 10-year and extended 25-year plans. You work with your loan servicer to actually apply for income-driven repayment plans. We'd encourage you to talk to them first, but you actually apply at studentaid.gov. Remember that with the income plans, you have to renew or recertify them every year. We'd encourage you to be sure you do that in a timely way. Otherwise, your monthly payment may increase dramatically, and any accrued and unpaid interest may capitalize, meaning be added back to the original amount that you borrowed. We hope the following resources will help the AAMC ADIA Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator, named DLOC, that we've mentioned before. It provides repayment and forgiveness estimates based on your individual student loan portfolio and your individual career plans, including any kind of advanced dental education plans you may have. Also, studentaid.gov, the repayment estimator that we have referenced before, a great way to see the impact of changes in income and family size on your payments with the income-driven repayment plans.
We hope this module on the income-driven repayment plans will help you know whether or not an IDR should be part of your repayment strategy as your loans come due after you graduate from dental school. On behalf of the American Dental Education Association, best wishes for every success in your dental careers.